Godhead, whose praise with consonant songs established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and the spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
We will be reading from Canto 9, chapter 22, verse number 1 to verse number 26, and we will be focusing on verse number 20. So we can start from here. Text 1.
Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, the son of Devodasha was Mithraim, and from Mithraim came four sons named Chavanya, Swadasha, Sahadeva, and Somaka. Somaka was the father of Jantu.
Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the eldest was Rasta. Rasta was born in Drupada, who was opulent in all superlative.
Text 3. From Maharaj Drupad, Draupadi was born. Maharaj Drupad also had many sons headed by Drishtadumna. From Drishtadumna came the son named Drishtaketu. All these personalities are known as descendants of Brahmayasura or as the dynasty of Panchalas.
Could you scroll down?
Another son of Ajamida was known as Raksha. From Raksha came a son named Savarna, and from Savarna, through the womb of his son Tapati, the daughter of Sandra came through the Purushas. Viru had three sons, Parishi, Sudhanu, Jamanu, and Nisala. From Sudhanu, Suhotra was born, and from Suhotra, Shavana. From Shavana, Kriti was born.
The son of Kriti was Parichara Vasu, and among his sons headed by Brihadrata were Kushanga, Mansya, Pratyatra, and Shilika. All the sons of Uparichara Vasu became rulers of the Chedi states.
From Brihadrata, Kushagra was born. From Kushagra, Rishabh, and from Rishabha, Satyahita. The son of Satyahita was Pushpavan, and the son of Pushpavan was Javan.
Through the womb of another wife, Brihadra begot two halves of a son. When the mother saw those two halves, she rejected them. But later she demoned Jara, playfully joined them and said, Come to life, come to life. Thus the son named Jarasandha.
From Jarasandha came a son named Sahadev, from Sahadev, Somaki, and from Somaki, Stutashrava, the son of Kuru called Parichi had no sons, but the son of Kuru called Janu had a son named Suratha.
From Suratha came a son named Viduratha, from whom Sarvabhauma was born. From Sarvabhauma came Jayasena. From Jayasena, Radhika, and from Radhika, Ayutayu.
From Ayutayu came a son named Aprodana, and his son was Devatiti. The son of Devatiti was Riksha. The son of Riksha was Dilipa, and the son of Dilipa was Pratipa.
The sons of Pratipa were Devaki, Santanu, and Malika. Devaki left the kingdom of his father and went to the forest, and therefore Shantanu became the king. Shantanu, who in his previous birth was known as Mahavisham, had the ability to transform anyone from old age to youth simply by touching that person with his hands.
Because the king was able to make everyone happy through sense gratification, primarily by the touch of his hand. His name was Shantanu. Once, when there was no rainfall in the kingdom for 12 years, the king consulted his learned Brahmanical advisors. They said, You are faulty for enjoying the property of your elder brother. For the elevation of your kingdom and home, you should return the kingdom to him.
When the Brahmanas said this, Maharaj Shantanu went to the forest and requested his elder brother Devaki to take charge of the kingdom, for it is the duty of a king to maintain his subjects. Previously, however, Shantanu's minister Ashwavara had instigated some Brahmanas to induce Devaki to transgress the injunction of the Vedas and thus make himself unfit for the post of ruler. The Brahmanas deviated Devaki from the path of Vedic principles, and therefore, when asked by Shantanu, he did not agree to accept the post of ruler. On the contrary, he blasphemed the Vedic principles and therefore became fallen. Under the circumstances, Shantanu again became the king, and Indra with his shower rays. Devaki later took to the path of mystic yoga to control his mind and senses, and went to the village named Kalapagrama, where he is Shridevi.
After the dynasty of the moon god comes to an end in the age of Kali, Devaki, in the beginning of the next Satya Yuga, will re-establish the Soma dynasty in the world. From Bhalika, the brother of Shantanu, came a son named Somadatta, who had 3 sons named Gurishava and Sara. From Shantanu, through the womb of his wife named Ganga, came Bhishma, the exalted self-realized devotee and learned scholar.
Bhishma was the foremost of all warriors. When he defeated Lord Parshuram in a fight, Lord Parshuram was very satisfied with him. By the semen of Shantanu in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of a fisherman, Chitrangada took birth.
Chitrangada, of whom
Chitrangada, of whom Vichitravirya was the younger brother, was killed by a Gandharva who was also named Chitrangada. Satyavati, before her marriage to Shantanu, gave birth to the master authority of the Vedas, Vyasadeva, known as Krishna Dvaipayana, who was begotten by Parasaranu. From Vyasadeva, I was born, and from him I studied this great work of literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. The incarnation of God Vyasa, rejecting his disciples headed by Paila, instructed Srimad Bhagavatam to me because I was free from all material desires. After Ambika and Ambalika, the 2 daughters of Kashiraja, were taken away by force, Vichitravirya married them. But because he was too attached to these 2 wives, he had a heart attack and died of tuberculosis.
Vajrayana, Sri Vyasadeva, following the order of his mother Satyavati, begot 3 sons, 2 by the womb of Ambika and Ambalika, the 2 wives of his brother Vichitravirya, and 3rd by Vichitravirya's maidservant. These sons were Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura.
Dhritarashtra's wife Nana gave birth to 100 sons and 1 daughter. Okay, the oldest of the sons was Yudhana, and the daughter's name was Dushasala.
Text 20. वीर्ययूथाग्रणीयेन रामोऽपि युद्धितोषितः शान्ततनोर्दासकन्यायां यज्ञे चित्राङ्गदः सुतः
Ramopi yuddhitoshita Shantanordashakanyayam
Yagne Chitrangada Sutta.
Word to word translation. Virayutha Agniha. Bhishma Dev, the foremost of warriors.
Vishmadev, foremost of all warriors.
Yena, by whom? Rama api, even Prashuram, the incarnation of Godhead. Yudhi, in a fight. Toshitaha, was satisfied when defeated by Bhishmadev. Santanoh, by Shantanu. Dasah Kanyanam, in the womb of Satyavati, who was known as the daughter of Shudra. Gyan Yajne was born. Chitrangdah, Chitrangda. Sutah, a son. Translation: Bhishmadev was the foremost of all warriors. When he defeated the Lord Parshuram in a fight, Lord Parshuram was very satisfied with him. By the semen of Shantanu in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of a fisherman, Chitrangda took birth. Anybody want to read purport? Yeah.
Satyavati was actually the daughter of Balijar Vasu by the womb of a fisherman known as Matsya Dharma. Later, Satyavati was raised by a fisherman. The fight between Parshuram and Bhishmadev concerned three daughters of Kasiraj, Ambika, Ambalika, and Amba, who were forcibly abducted by Bhishmadev, acting on behalf of his brother Chitrangda. Amba thought that Bhishmadev would marry her and become attached to him, but Bhishmadev refused to marry her, for he had taken the vow of brahmacharya. Amba therefore approached Bhishmadev's military spiritual master Parshuram, who instructed Bhishma to marry her. Bhishmadev refused, and therefore Parshuram fought with him to force him to accept the marriage. But Parshuram was defeated, and he was pleased with Bhishma.
So what was the last one? Please with Vishnu?
Pleased with Bhishma.
So, by reading the translation and by reading the purport, we know the reason why there was a fight between Parshuram and Bhishmadev. When I got this verse, I was a little disappointed because there are a lot of names which I don't know, and I was like what to do of Bhuri, Bhuri Shalva, Shala, Somdatta. I know nothing about them. But then I got my verse, and the first word was Bhishmadev. Okay, now we are safe. We can talk about Bhishmadev. So, in previous cantos also, in previous chapters also, there were a lot of devotees who discussed why there are a lot of names. Because these names are not just names, they are our family, our spiritual family. And because all these names some are from the moon dynasty, some are from the sun dynasty. So they are related to Krishna. And they are related to Krishna, and they are also related to the devotees of Krishna. For example, Bhishmadev. There are a lot of names. You'll be going through names, and then you will hear Bhishmadev. Then you will feel a little happy that Bhishmadev is there. We also discussed about there are a lot of names here that have done abominable things. And still, they are glorified in Bhagavatam. Why? Because they are somehow or other they are related to devotees. In Bhagavatam, there is a shlok when Durvasa Muni went to Vishnu and he was pleading for forgiveness from the things that he has done to his devotees. Vishnu said, Aham bhakta paradhino hai swatantra iva dvija sadhu bhir grasta hridayam bhaktair bhakta janapriya. I am in love with the devotees and the devotees of my devotees. Bhaktair bhakta janapriya. So if in any kind of way, if you are related to devotees, we will not be in a bad state. We will be always be glorified. So it is very important to somehow or other serve pure devotees or just be in relationship with the pure devotees. There are a lot of examples. I cannot remember the particular thing that happened, but in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Advaita Acharya's home, his maid servant got the first darshan of the Lord before even Advaita Acharya. She got the darshan and then she called everyone in the house. So maid servant was the first one that got darshan. So it's very important to be related to the devotees of the Lord. One more example is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, there is a shlok 7, 10, 17, if you can pull that up. In that shloka, Prahlad Maharaj is talking about, Narsingh-dev is asking Prahlad Maharaj, okay, ask something, ask from me. Then he said, one of the famous verses that, I'm not a businessman, this is not a transaction, this is love. And in further shlokas, yes, can somebody read? Yeah, you.
Prahlad Maharaj said, O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls, I ask you for only one benediction. I know that my father, at the time of his death, had already been purified by your glance upon him, but because of his ignorance of your beautiful power and supremacy, he was unnecessarily angry at you, falsely thinking that you were the killer of his brother. Thus he directly blasphemed your lordship, the spiritual master of all living beings, and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused for these sinful activities.
Yes, can we go to the next shloka? Anyone else? Yeah, you.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Prahlad, O most pure, O great saintly person, your father has been purified, along with 21 forefathers in your family. Because you were born in his family, the entire dynasty has been purified.
Yes, he said not only you, but your forefathers. Can you go to word translation? It's important it's very interesting how he said 21, up to 21 generations. He said, Triha Saptibihi, 7 multiplied by 3, not like 21. So I was reading this, I thought I will, get away with maths, but still, in Bhagavatam also there are some kind of maths. So yes, I talked to a lot of devotees, and there is a trend. There are a lot of devotees who tell me that I want to become a brahmachari, but I don't know if Krishna will take care of my family or how my family would be taken care of. And I'm really worried about my family. That's why I'm not becoming a brahmachari, or I'm not going fully. I'm not full time or anything. And these are some of the verses that not only your family, your family's 21 generations will be purified. And there is a great example of His Grace Jayanand Prabhu, where I was reading an article about how at the last stage of course, Jayanand Prabhupada mentioned that he was a pure devotee of the Lord, and he did his service and he went home back to Godhead. Okay, what about his mother? I read an article where her mother was in a what do you call it, daycare, right? Where you not daycare, that's the kids. Old age home, yeah. He was in an old age home. She was in an old age home. So yeah, and in that old age home, the nurse or the worker that was taking care of her, imagine the odds. She was a devotee, and she doesn't know that she was the mother of Jayanand Prabhu, and mother of Jayanand Prabhu doesn't know that she's a devotee. At the last stage of his life, see how Krishna takes care of the family members of the devotees. At the last stage of life, when her mother was about to die, that lady, that nurse who was a devotee, chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra in his ears. So don't be fearful that what about my family. I was hearing one Bhagavatam class, I think it was His Grace Amogila Prabhu. He was describing this, that we think, okay, we say big slokas in Bhagavad Gita, Param Brahma, Paramadham, Pavitram, you are most supreme, you are most great, you are most this, and then we worry about, okay, what about my family? He's taking care of all the universes, all this, but what about my family? As if he's not okay. You take care of your family, I will take care of whole the universe. No, Krishna will also take care of your family. And there are innumerable examples of devotees till now also, that Krishna will also take care of Bhakta Janapri, of the devotees and their family members. And I was thinking of discussing something about Bhishma Dev and his glories. He is sacrifice personified. He made so much sacrifice. We see the battle of Kurukshetra. There are so many kings fighting for this land. This land was originally belonged to Bhishma Dev. What he gave up, people were fighting for that. He sacrificed this land in no time. And he took the vow of brahmacharya. And I was thinking of going to discuss about Bhishma Stuti. And when I first heard about Bhishma Dev, it intrigued me and it made me interested in Bhishma Stuti, because I was like, this devotee who had made so much sacrifices in his life, what he would say when he was about to leave his body. What kind of consciousness he would have when he's about to leave his body. So Bhishma Stuti is really beautiful, and we were discussing this with Ananda Madhav Prabhu, that whenever you are reading, try to be in the past time, try to feel it. For example, he gave a beautiful example which was given by one of his friends, that, for example, he gave an example of when Mahaprabhu saw Yamuna. Mahaprabhu saw a river and he thought that was Yamuna, and he just went there without consulting anybody, and everyone was looking for him. And at last, when they couldn't find him, they found him at the cottage of a fisherman, and then they woke up Mahaprabhu, and then there was a conversation. So this is the pastime. But then Ananda Madhav Prabhu said, okay, imagine you are there. You have seen Mahaprabhu running towards the river, and you see him vanish. And what you are imagining? You are imagining, the devotees of Mahaprabhu was imagining, Mahaprabhu has concluded his pastimes. So, they were there. Try to be present when you are reading. Try to feel what the devotees might be feeling, what the Lord might be feeling. So he was telling us that try to feel the pain and suffering of the devotees. And the devotees thought that Mahaprabhu has concluded his pastimes. And when you forget something, you have that, okay, I think I've put that thing somewhere. So you have little faith that I will find that thing. But as soon the time passes and you cannot find the thing, or you cannot find the person, that anxiety began to increase. So that what was happening to the devotees of Mahaprabhu. And when they almost gave up, they finally found Mahaprabhu in the cottage. And they were so relieved. Oh, Mahaprabhu is still here. He didn't conclude his pastimes. And when they woke up Mahaprabhu chastised them. Why do you wake me up? I was in the Leela. And then they chastised Mahaprabhu back. Mahaprabhu, you cannot say this to us. You gave us so much anxiety. We were here. We thought you have concluded your pastimes. You cannot do this to us. So it is very nectarian. Bhishma Stuti. Can you pull up Bhishma Stuti? You will see he's lying on the arrows, and what he's saying, one of the verses are Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavaranam. He's describing about Prabhu. Imagine you are on the last stage of your life, and everybody is seeing him, and he's dying, and he's like, Prabhu, you're looking great. Wow. And when we go forward in Bhishma Suti, he was talking about, Prabhu, Dhritarata charano bhaya chalagdu haririv hantum ibam gato tariya. Prabhu, when you jumped out of chariot, and Dhritarata charno, Rath is chariot, charno, the feet of chariot, which is the wheels. When you pick up the wheels and you moved towards me, and your utri fell down, man, you look so beautiful. I was like, he's on his deathbed and he's talking about, and he also talked about how your hair was flying. He was a Rasik Bhakta, but he didn't show this. But at the last moment of his life, he showed every emotion possible. He talked about gopis. He talked about everything. So the first shloka. Can we go to the shloka? Up, yes. If anybody wants to follow or can follow. Shri Bhishma Uvacha Iti Matirupakal Pita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukhamupagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakriti Mupeyushiyad Bhava Pravaha. So he's saying, Iti Mati Rupaka, let me invest. Translations. Let me invest my thinking, feeling, and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Shri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world, although from him only the material world is created. And the purport of this, Prabhupada is talking about how iti mati rupakal, how why he's saying that, okay, now let me concentrate on you. And he's thinking, willing, and feeling. He said that he's a leader and he has to take care of a lot of things. But now he's like, okay, I'm done with all of the stuff. Now let me concentrate on you. And thinking, I cannot understand my own writing. What is this? Yes, thinking, willing, and feeling. We can also apply this in our daily life. When we chant holy names. I sometimes think of this verse. Okay, now I'm sitting here. Itimati upakal, invest. Pita vitrishna, without any material desires. Itimati upakal, pita vitrishna, bhagavati. I'm concentrating on you, who are the leader of the devotees. Satvata pungave. So sometimes before chanting, we can also chant these verses, or the verses that we like, to get more concentration. And yes, when we chant, thinking of Krishna, this is the positive side, right? If it's a good day, we are thinking of Krishna while we chant. And if you're not thinking of Krishna, we should think, why I'm not able to think of Krishna? Still we are thinking of Krishna. So this is thinking, willing to sacrifice this 2 hours, just from 22 hours, from 24 hours in a day, just 2 hours, sacrifice your so-called, comfort. Just sit, chant, just sacrifice something to chant. So sacrifice is very important. Are we willing to sacrifice? Are we willing? We hear a lot of glories of holy name. There is a beautiful bhajan in which one Goswami is talking about, one devotee of the Lord is talking about Trina Kritya Jagat Sarvam. While chanting your name, I feel like this whole world is like the blade of grass. Like, wow, how does that feel? We have to... Is that, this feeling that he's feeling right now, this realization, can we get this without any sacrifice? Just, in air? So willing to sacrifice something for the holy name. It goes both ways. And then feeling. What are we feeling? There is a line from Mosama patita prabhu na paibe yaar. That no one is more fallen than me. It's very important what we feel when we sit down. And when we feel that no one is more fallen than me, and we know as a devotee and as a non-devotee what kind of works, what kind of things that we have done. Bring that to our mind. Like, see, this is my reality, and only holy name can save me. And be completely, this is impossible. In the association of devotees, deity worship, Krishna is there, temple is there, service is there. Still, I'm not satisfied. Still, my mind wanders here and there. This only holy name, and you will get some taste in holy name, and then your excitement will increase, and then again it will decrease. Then again, holy name will shower the mercy, and you will find some devotees who want to chant, and association of devotees. Yes, so thinking, willing, and feeling while we chant, we can also direct these verses towards when we chant our holy names. And Srila Prabhupada also talks about in this purport how super soul acts when it comes to devotees, and how super soul acts when it comes to non-devotees. In the purport, he talks about when Bhishma Dev said, Satvata Pungave Vibhumni, like you are the leaders of the devotees. So Prabhupada in this regard says that yes, he is the leader. How? Because as super soul, he gives directions. To the non-devotee, he is just sanctioning, and he is just there seeing, witnessing, eyewitness. But as you become devotees, he guides you. I was hearing a lecture in which one Maharaj was talking about how devotees ask him, like, how we will get our spiritual master? How we will get our spiritual master? Pray to super soul. We cannot. There was one devotee who used to say that we cannot see a sadhu. Sadhu can see us. These imperfect senses, I think, there were a lot of devotees in past also, when Prabhupada left his body. Okay, he is my guru. He fell down. Okay, he is my guru. Two times people had their guru fell down. Why? They didn't pray for direction. I was talking to Brihad Mridanga Prabhu about somebody gave a lecture, and I was very concerned because in the lecture, the devotee, I heard a lecture, and the devotee was talking about, when we get in distress, we should go to our mentor, and when we are distressed, we should go to our mentor. I was like, okay, now they will say that we should pray, we should go to our guru, we should go to Mahaprabhu. Okay, so I was like, there was a lot of mentors. So he was like, yes, he's like, my spiritual master said that before you go to anybody, go to Krishna, pray first, and then go to anybody you want. So praying, don't underestimate the power of praying. And I was reading a book in which the author was talking about how everyone in Srila Prabhupada's era was saved because of praying. So yes, this was the first shloka. And second shloka is really nice. Can you go to second shloka? Okay. Tribhuvan kamanam tamalavarnam ravikara gauravarambaram dadhane vapuralakakula vritananabjam vijaya sakhera terastu me navadya. So he's lying on the bed of arrows, and what he's saying, Tribhuvan Kamanam, you are desired in three worlds. Tamal, and he's describing the Lord. You are like Tamal Varna, you are like Tamal tree, the complexion of Tamal tree. Shri Krishna is the translation. Shri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of tamal tree. His body attracts everyone in the 3 planetary systems, upper, middle and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face covered with painting of sandalwood pulp be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. So at the last stage of his life, he's talking about Lord's dress, his golden dress, his hairs, how he's desired in 3 worlds. And there are some shlokas way ahead where he talks about that Prabhu, when you are holding, literally he's like very much getting intimate with the Lord. He's talking about Prabhu, when you're holding Dhrita Hayarash, the ropes of the horses, when you're holding that. Dhrita Hayarashminita Shriye Kshaniye, Prabhu, you're looking so beautiful. So is this so intimate? I was so surprised. This is Bhishma Dev. When we hear about Bhishma Dev, he's so, I don't know what is the English word of khunkar. So, and here he's completely different. He's talking about Kachalulita Shramavaryalං Kratase Kach. Your hair full of ashes is flowing, and Shramavaryalං Kratase. Your sweat is like ornament. Like, wow, that's how beautiful this prayer is. That I'm jumping again and again, little forward. So yes, he's talking about how Lord is covered with paintings of sandalwood. And Vijaya Sakhe, victory. Victory is the second name of Arjuna. Imagine fighting someone whose second name is victory, because he's with Krishna, he's the devotee. So Vijaya Sakhe Ratira Vijaya Sakhe, may my mind always be on Vijaya Sakhe. And when Bhishma wanted in lot of these prayers, you will see that he will describe Lord and he will say that may this form of you, trying to save your devotees, this remain in my heart. Again, jumping a little forward, he's talking about how the worry on your face. You are so worried that your devotee will be killed. I have to save him. Just stop the time, and this face, this worrying of your devotee is so sweet. You're so worried. So let this be Ratirastume. Like this, I want to see this face, and I want to focus on this face. Next shloka. Yeah, this is okay. Yudhitura garjo vidhumra vishvak kachalulita shramavaryalං kratasye mama nishitashre vibhidyamana tvachi vilasat kavachestu krishna atma. So Yudhitura. So he's on the battlefield. These horses, when they run, their dust, Raja, turned an ashen color, waving. Let's go to translation. Okay, on the battlefield where Shri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, and because of his labor. See, even Lord is doing labor for us. Even Lord is sacrificing his comfort. Anyways, beads of sweet wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Lord Krishna. He's glorifying even the wounds, that you have this armor, and when I was piercing through the shield, so these wounds, so he's glorifying these wounds. He's glorifying the perspiration, what do you call it? Yeah, sweat. Yes, the sweat and everything. He's very detailed form. He's remembering everything about the Lord. Next. Yes. Sapadi sakhivacho nishamya madhye nija parayo balayo ratham niveshya sthitavati parasai ikayu rakshna haritavati partha sakhe ratir mamastu. So he's talking about Yudhitura Garaj. Oh, no, which one was this? Sapadi Sakhivacho, Nishame Sapadi Sakhivacho. Sakhivacho. Your Sakha said, okay, go to the middle. You're so innocently, you're going to the middle. Sapadi Sakhivacho, Nishame Madhya, in the middle. Madhya, Nije Parayo Balay. By your own strength, you are, there is no Garuda. You have millions and millions of servants, but Nije Parayo Balayo Ratham Niveshya, by your own strength, you are controlling the chariot and you are going in the middle. Can we go to the shloka? Yes. Stitavati Parasai Nikayu Rakshana. The Sainik, the soldiers that were there. Ayu Rakshana, you're seeing them, and but just by seeing them, you're taking their lives away. Hritavati Partha Sakhe Ratir Mamastu, you're taking their life away, and Partha Sakhe, again, with the devotee, he's addressing the Lord. Partha Sakhe, Partha is again the second name of Arjuna. Ratir, let me be, focused at this scene of you, that you are standing with Arjuna. Okay, we'll go to the last shloka. This is not the last shloka, but for us this will be Vyavahita Pritana Mukham Nirikshya Svajana Vadha Dvimukhasya Dosha Buddha Kumati Maharida Atma Vidyaya Charanarati Paramasya Tasya Mestu Vyavahita Pritana Mukham Nirikshya, by seeing the face of his swajan, of his family members. What Arjuna went through, Vyavahita Pritana, he went through a dilemma. Swajana Vadha Dvimukhasya Dosha Buddhya. This is a very important verse. I generally chant this verse when Vadha Dvimukhasya Dosha. Dvimukhasya means double-minded. Or should I kill him? Or should I not? When we're in dilemma, double-mindedness. So what happened? Dosha Buddhya. He had Dosha Buddhi. He had contaminated mind. And then what Krishna did? Kumati Maharda. Kumati. This Ku means distorted, Mati means mind, distorted. Kumati Maharda. Krishna is known as Hari, and he grabbed, what do you call it? Stole, yes. The Kumati of Arjuna. Atma Vidyaya, and gave him Bhagavad Gita. Atma Vidyaya Charanarati Paramasya Tasya Mestu. Yes. So I want to Charanarati Paramat. I want to remember that Krishna who did all of this with Vijaya Sakhe, with Partha Sakhe. And yes, this will be the last shloka. There are many more shlokas which we can relate to, and if we are going through something, we can say these shlokas, we can remember these shlokas. This is very nice. Dvimukhasya Dosha Buddhya. Sometimes we are in double mind, what we should do, what we should not. We should recite these shlokas. And standing before Krishna, if we recite this is very beneficial, and Krishna will feel so much pleasure in remembering old days. So yes, I don't know. This verse was there were a lot of names, and I don't know. I'm not a scholar. I don't know anything about these names or hidden meanings, or from this I think there should be no envy. There should be no this, and how devotees speak very fluently about the topics. So I just heard Bhishma Dev and I liked Bhishma Stuti. I'm like, okay, let's do Bhishma Stuti here. And there's a verse which Sri Hanuman spoke, that na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam navak na buddhi na kriti tosha hetu na janmanunam. So this is what I recite, or what I think when I'm giving a class, or when I'm doing any service. Na janmanunam, I'm not born in a very aristocratic or in a very, in a devotee family. Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam navak, I don't know how to speak. Navak na buddhi, I don't have mind. Na akriti tosha hetu, I'm not Shah Rukh Khan, I'm not Salman Khan. Akriti toshe, to satisfy the devotees. Taya vishishtan apno vanokasam. I'm like an animal living in the forest. Sachikar sakhe bata lakshmana grajah. But as he's speaking to Ram, but we can also speak these two devotees. But sakar sakhe, you, all the devotees accepted me as your friend. Bata lakshmana grajah. He's talking about Sri Ram. So yes, this was my attempt. I'm sorry if I cannot do justice to shloka. Thank you so much. And any questions?
So any questions? I would like to go first. I feel like you did not do justice to the slope, but I would like to say that this was one of those classes that strengthens your faith in Krishna more and more. And I wanted to share like how you strengthen my faith in Krishna by sharing two reflections that I had from this class. You say like, when you are not a devotee, Krishna just provides and he just witnesses. And when you become devotee, he guides you. So when I was in retreat, like one Maharaj shared this thought, like because we are surrounded by material energy, our super soul, like body is content of soul and super soul, right?
Yes.
Because of the material nature, the super soul is covered in material nature. And when you perform devotional service, that cover starts to replenish, like the super soul comes out, and that's how it guides you. So I feel like that devotional, like performing devotional service, Krishna guides you to that. And because of your strong devotional service, you guided like me, strengthening my faith in Krishna. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu.
And second reflection, I had like, you said like attraction for Lord, like how Vishnu Dev was at the last moment was like sharing everything that he felt for the Lord. And I had this realization like, whenever like I heard, a supercar passing by, I'm like, oh wow, what a nice supercar, like that. Or whenever I see a good furniture, I was like, oh wow, this is so nice, I wish I could have it. Or something like that, a pair of pants or anything. And everybody has attraction to something. So I was feeling, why is my jaw not dropping when I'm seeing the deities? Why am I not running towards deities whenever there is like they are giving, when the doors are opening and they are providing instructions? So I felt like I'm going to do that now. So thank you for this wonderful class.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes, there was, I was sitting in front desk, and there was one child who walked, and as she saw Gopinath, she jumped like, whoa! And I was like, millions of lifetimes. It will take me millions of lifetimes to get this happiness. And what she with this simple heart, saw Gopinath, and she's so pure. She was so pure. I paid my obeisances. I was like, yes, you have to be very simple-hearted and pray to devotees. Yes, bro.
Your class was really amazing, and it's really wrong to compare anyone with anyone, but I think this was my best class that I've attended in the last 3-4 years here, living in the ashram. It was very great, and you mentioned a lot of things. The thing about willingness, that was really mind-blowing, because I'm tracking my distraction during japa, and I was getting irritated this morning that I can't chant, but at least I can celebrate now that I have willingness to pay attention, to focus. And it's okay, distractions are there, but still I have
That's really amazing. I think you are very inspiring, and you're one. I genuinely, I'm saying it's high time for me to just, maybe resign and then join Bhakti Academy again. Because you've just surpassed, and it's not fair for myself to lead wonderful devotees like yourself. It's mind blowing, and I made a good decision to show up today. Thank you for such nice fun.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was your shloka. Yesterday night you gave it to me. I like to do.
I gave it on Monday.
Yes, Prabhu.
I like the point where you talked about that we can't have these realizations that everybody is having in just air. Like what devotees are feeling when they saw Mahaprabhu or that anxiousness. We have to sacrifice something to get that. So and our sacrifice looks very different than what their sacrifice was, and ours is not that difficult either. Like we just have to give 2 hours of our day to chanting Japa. We have to pay the price of attention. So I think that I really like that point. And also, you said that the class that you heard, the lecture where the Prabhu was talking about go to a mentor. But then you said you were disappointed because they didn't talk about go to Krishna. You go to Krishna first and then you jump to somebody else. So the power of praying, I think that is so true. And everybody needs to keep this in mind. Like Krishna is our only shelter, our holy name is our only shelter, and we should approach him first. I really like that. Thank you.
Can I just add something to that?
Yes.
I missed adding. Yeah, I think the point that you made about mentor was like people don't give time to themselves to just experience. Maybe Krishna is teaching me something. I'm very pretty interested. I just reached out to my mentor and depending completely and not like really trying to understand why Krishna is making me feel okay. If he's making me feel, let me just feel this anxiety. Let me feel this distress. The point was really amazing. Really, very revolutionary.
Yeah, we sometimes get dependent. As soon as something happens, call, email. So yeah, dependent. As if we are distressed and immediately, if immediately we are not remembering Guru or Krishna, it should be spontaneous. Then, and if immediately we are, of course mentors are not bad, but immediately if we are not praying, that praying mood is not coming, then we have to.
Is not there.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Some classes are hope giving. So this was like hope giving class for some like me. It's all the verses are there in Bhagavatam. We also have Bhagavatam with us. We can read Bhagavatam whenever we want. But the way you were relishing, the way you were explaining each and every word, the way the emotions were there. I feel like it will take millions of lifetime for me to relish those verses like the way you were doing. So I want to ask you that pray for me that I can relish those verses like you were doing. So thank you so much. Many points, but I don't know what to say, but thank you so much.
All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Goswamis, all the Maharaj, all the Mahabhagavats that give lectures and speak from their heart. In Bhagavatam, I was finding that word. There is a shloka where in Bhagavatam, Bhagavat is talking about Bhishma Dev, calling him Mahabhagavat. Bhagavat is calling Bhishma Dev Mahabhagavat. So how amazing is that? That Bhagavatam itself is calling a devotee Mahabhagavat. And please read whole stuti, if possible memorize it. Whenever you will see Krishna Kacha Lulitam Shrama, you will speak, you will automatically speak when you will see.
Can we continue this at Mort Island? Will you continue to tell us the further verses?
While you are canoeing?
No, we will sit down for sure. Canoeing is not the only objective there. First, but we want to start with this so that by canoeing we can think of Krishna, Vishnu Deva and his kingdom like that.
Yes, Prabhu, yes, sure.
Sounds good.
Hare Krishna. Vishnu namo namah.
Was it